1, Emma Roddick.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. To ask the Scottish Government, in relation to its policies on land reform and land use, what discussions the Rural Affairs Secretary has had with ministerial colleagues regarding any action that can be taken to tackle land banking investment scams in the Highlands and Islands, in light of the reported impact that such scams can have on the right of a community to have more of a say in how the land that they live on is used.
Cabinet Secretary Marie Bujold.
There are complexities in responding to financial investment scams in Scotland, given that financial services and consumer redress and enforcement are reserved, and we need to actually understand the prevalence of these scams too. So where people have experienced them, we would advise them that they should contact Advice Direct Scotland for clear practical advice. But it might also be appropriate to report the issue to Police Scotland, where an assessment of any appropriate criminal enforcement action can be made. In circumstances where land banking investment scams threaten protected sites, such as sites of special scientific interest, appropriate enforcement action can be taken by relevant agencies. And what I would say on the wider point is that the Scottish Government is committed to ensuring that communities have a say in how their land and assets are used. And the Scottish Land Rights and Responsibilities Statement, as revised by the Scottish Government in 2022, set out that there should be meaningful collaboration and community engagement in decisions about land.
Emma Roddick.
I thank the Cabinet Secretary for that answer, and I think it will be appreciated by those who have been in touch with me when I do pass it on. My team has recently been dealing with multiple reports of land banking investment scams, including a number around the Spean Bridge area. These scams clearly have an impact on those who attempt to invest in the land, but they also have a detrimental effect on local communities and contribute to this sense that our land is something that can just be sold off in bits to the highest bidder. So in light of this, can I ask her what wider action is being taken to ensure that local communities and the natural environment are afforded greater protection from such scams?
Cabinet Secretary.
First of all, I would just say that, of course, it is really concerning to hear about the prevalence of the scams that the member seems to be encountering across the region. And as I hope I've been able to outline in the initial response to Emma Roddick, we do recognise the serious impact that financial scams of any nature can have on people and the particular impacts that land banking investment scams can have on local communities. And I mentioned in my initial response about the appropriate avenues to try and seek advice in relation to that. I think in relation to the specific point that Emma Roddick raises and that specific example, there are a number of public bodies who are involved in responding to that, and parallel activities are being taken forward by Nature Scot, Police Scotland, Highland Council and Scottish Forestry to address this. And more broadly, I would say that, of course, the Government agrees that communities should be more involved in decisions that are made about land in their area, and that's why we have more options than ever before for communities to be able to take ownership of land and assets, and we're looking to improve on that and bring forward further measures in our land reform bill.
Okay, a couple of supplementaries. First, Rachel Hamilton.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. A forestry grant